now.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Dice Masters with James and Zach. I'm Zach.
And I'm James. Hello.
Hello. We are back in the modern age. We took a little bit of a break and dabbled around in the golden age for a little while, but we are back with a impressively meta team. James and I were talking quite a lot recently about the super rare Yuan-Ti Pureblood and just about how fast it could be. And after talking about it for long enough, we thought it was just time to test it out. So I am going to try and put up some resistance today using a team that I made for a Prime tournament that I was able to beat a Yuan-Ti team. I don't know how, but anyway, this is what I came up with. I was using the Foot Ninja with the one that gets +1/+1 for each other sidekick in the field zone. And if that gets sufficiently big, I can use the Insect Plague Global, which is not on Retrobox yet, but it's a new basic action from the 2-move Annihilation set. And the global is pay a mask once per turn, target sidekick die is unblockable until end of turn. And so, especially in Prime, when you don't have Blink Transmutation, it was pretty helpful to be able to make giant Foot Ninjas go away. I'm using Mimic and Professor X to get some ramp and also just to get more sidekicks in the field. I have some control pieces like Shriek and the rare Blob and Captain Cold's Cold Gun just to kind of, try and take out whatever my opponent might do to prevent my Foot Ninja from getting through. I put Green Devil Mask on basically as like an anti-aggro tech, although it doesn't really come up very often. And I thought I would try out the uncommon Yuan-Ti Pureblood as some tech against the super rare Yuan-Ti Pureblood because the super rare's text will trigger all of the attune abilities, and so I can use my Yuan-Ti to hopefully help deal with that a little bit. And that's my team.
Okay, and this is my Yuan-Ti Pureblood Monstrosity. Well, obviously that card's not.
Statement.
It's not there because it's not in Retrobox, but the text for Yuan-Ti Pureblood, I'm proxying the common. But the text for the super rare says, well, it's a tune, which is while this character is active, when you use an action die, deal 1 damage to target player or character die. And then the secondary text is while Yuan-Ti Pureblood is active, when you purchase an action die, trigger the attune ability of all active character dice. And so for that end, we have Bat Signal, which is a 1-cost action. And also we have Improvised Weapon, which is not in Retrobox, and the text is frankly irrelevant because I'm just going to buy them and hopefully never use them. To pump up that 1 pinging damage from each one that I buy or use, we've got Cosmic Cube, rare, which adds 2 to each of those 1 pings, and then everything else really is just support. So I had Shriek, but now I've got Kryptonite to blank things that might be bothering me on my turn. I've got Ring, lesser gear, which has the same global as the super rare. Pay 1 once during your turn. You may put an NPC die from your use pile into your reserve pool on any face. It's corrected to read. So that's useful for thinning out my bag and fielding sidekicks. And then we've got 2 sources of ramp. We've got Rip Hunters and Resurrection, both of which need shields. And so for that, I've got Cyborg, which has got the energy fixer. And then in case people bring Scarlet Witch, obviously I'm quite action dice based. I've got Parallax so I can re-roll stuff. And that's about it. So it either goes really quickly or it falls apart really horribly, and we will see.
All right. I feel like I should have Scarlet Witch on the team just as another option, but we'll see what we can do without it, I guess. All right, action or energy?
I will go with action as ever, please, Zach.
And it is action.
Yes! I will go second, please.
All right. Okay. Good luck, James.
Good
Although,
luck to you,
not too
sir.
much. We have tested this team a few times, and the video has not worked, but his team has been incredibly successful. We'll see if it works out this time. All right. Oop. And my first roll. Well, I could buy Yuan-Ti Pureblood, my own Yuan-Ti Pureblood, and I could prep it if I flipped that, or I could try and thin the bag a bit, or I could flip that and try and buy Shriek pretty early. I think I'm going to try. Okay, so normally with this team, I would definitely want to get as many sidekicks out as early as possible, then swing with Foot Ninja. But I think I just can't outrun the Yuan-Ti Pureblood damage, and so I'm going to try and have to kind of control a little bit at first, and then see if I can't maybe get Foot Ninja afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to prep Yuan-Ti Pureblood. I'm using the Cyborg Global to turn that to a shield, and then turning that over, and then I will pass turn.
Okay. Put these in the bag, and so I'm hoping for, what am I hoping for? I'm hoping for some combination which will allow me to buy one Yuan-Ti and one Cosmic Cube. And that's not quite it, because the sidekick fixer that I have is not that one. Oh dear, okay. That's alright though.
But you got it.
2 bolts and 2 more energy, so I get one of those and one of those, and I'll move those down. I will pass turn back to you.
Alright. So I'm tempted to try to go for this blob this time, and I could definitely prep blob. If I roll the Yuan-Ti and she comes up double energy, then I can prep blob and another die. No, I can't. No, because I need another shield anyway. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to prep blob.
That could put a spanner in the works.
Hopefully. You already bought Cube, but maybe I can keep Yuan-Ti out or something. Prevent you from buying your bat signals, something like that. Okay, all right, pass turn.
Okay. So 4 out. So now what do I do? So he can't stop me using Cube, but he can stop me fielding Yuan-Ti, which is annoying.
I think stop you from buying more cubes.
I don't really. Well, that's true. Yeah. So at this point, either I go for. I hope he doesn't roll blob and go for the turn 3 victory, which involves buying 1 more cube, and then trying to get all that to coincide by using this global on this one, the ring. So I'll field a sidekick, thin this out, and then use resurrection to exclude the dice that I paid with this time. So I will end up with just I'll end up with 6 in my bag, I think. These and 1 more cube, and then I will pull 5 of those 6 with resurrection in my next draw. Which is pretty good chances on pulling the right stuff. But then he's got blob, so I might need kryptonite. Hard to say. I think. Okay, I'll just roll my dice and see what happens.
Yeah.
With no bolts.
No bolts.
This is not really going to help very much, is it? That's all right. And I'm going to reroll that. Oh my god! All right.
Oh, I think it's the first time we've played this team where you haven't gotten the roll you needed.
Okay, decisions made. So I'm not buying any of those action dice. So what would be a good thing to do? Hang on, but I have got an energy fixer, so I could swap that for a bolt. Can I?
With your ring.
And I'll buy a bolt from there.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's something.
You don't get your sidekick then, but at least you can get something.
And I'll play it slightly differently. I'll prep a kryptonite, and then I'll resurrect.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, because the ring global, you pay in energy, so that would go in transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That was one that I paid for the bolt, which I took out and used, and then 2 that I paid for that, 1 for Rip Hunters, this one for Rip Hunters, and this one for Resurrection. So
yeah, so you had 5 dice last turn, yeah. Yeah.
Did I? What? That's all right. I think that's legit. Okay. All right.
I think so. All right.
Well, we can watch the video back.
Yeah, I don't remember if you had 5 dice or not, but oh well. No, you didn't, because you bought 2 things first turn.
Yeah, so
I rolled 4 sidekicks.
So
one of those should have been in your bag, right?
Hang on. I don't know, I'm confused. Maybe I've
if you only rolled 4 sidekicks, you could only spent 4 sidekicks.
Aha, so you're saying that one of these should be in my bag?
One of these should be in your bag,
okay,
yeah, I don't remember.
All right, that's
yeah.
Right. Is that right?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Because if you only rolled 4 sidekicks, you can only have 4 in transition.
Hang on, then I just pulled that out. I screwed this up, really, didn't I?
Okay, yeah, you can.
redraw.
Yeah, you can draw. I mean, you have a slightly higher chance of doing it again.
There you go.
All right, there it is. All right,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah. Okay, so my turn then. I'm going to draw 4 sidekicks, of course. I'm not going to get Blob, at least not yet. Okay, so what do I want? I think I definitely want Blob to roll. He's 0, 1, 2. So at maximum, if he comes up and I have to pay 2 to field him, then I would want probably either just to buy another Yuan-Ti or... And having 2 of them is actually helpful because if he wants to deal all of his burst damage at once, he has to KO all of my Yuan-Tis before he starts using the trigger ability. Or I can just ping his off. So I think I need a bolt. Or a mask, which I can use Professor X Global for. But I don't have anything in my used, so I can't use the ring global. And he did come up, level 3. Okay, I'm glad I saved that energy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pay 2 energy, we're going to field the blob, and I am going to name Yuan-Ti Pureblood. So you can't field her unless blob gets blanked.
Yeah.
Is that the right call? Ugh. I mean, anything I name, you can just blank it, but that just makes it harder for you. If I named Bat Signal, you wouldn't be able to buy Bat Signal, but you could always just use Kryptonite again. So my only hope at this point is that I can get 2 control elements out at once, and you have a hard time blanking both of them. That's my plan.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to spend a shield to use Resurrection to prep a die. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this question mark and pass turn to you. So I'm decided I'm going to name Yuan-Ti Pureblood. And hopefully you can draw it and not field it this turn.
Okay. Just to verify on this, because I'm totally confused. I had some dice here, and I paid 1 into transition to pull out a bolt from here. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that would be the 5th dice. So there should have been 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Okay. Yeah, you can take a psychic.
Because I spent.
No, you're right. Someone probably already mentioned that in the comment, but I think that's where it came
from. So
that makes sense.
I'll fish the sidekick out and put it back there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
I was like, how did you have 5 if you only started with 4? Sorry, that was my mistake.
That's the magic of the ring, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, really so this time I'm actually rolling everything that I want. Is that can that be correct? Yeah, because I resurrected and I rip hunted.
Yep.
So okay. So okay. Yeah, just the one I didn't want. Yeah, okay. Oh, come on now. All that. So I can't field her unless this comes up, right?
Yeah, basically.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on then. Better come up.
If only I had Scarlet Witch, then you'd be sunk.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been able to get her out at this point.
Oh, no.
Oh, finally.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, that's useless now. Okay, so we will field that. I can't field her. Oh, Zack. Bloody hell.
I mean, all the games we've tried this on before, it didn't record. You hit your roll every single time you needed it, so.
Indeed. Right.
Right, well, no turn 3 win without the rolls.
No, far from it. Okay, I'm all over the shop now. So I think... Okay, bag's empty. So I think I'll probably use ring to field a sidekick. I probably don't want to use resurrection because then all of that, which I can't use, annoyingly, would be separated from my bag. So instead of doing that, I will... What can I usefully prep though? So I need 2 things simultaneously. Well, you're annoying, aren't you?
If you had a mask, you could use Professor X Global on my turn.
Yeah, I don't have that. No, I could have changed the energy. Okay, all right. So I have to make the best of a bad job. I have to buy something useful, which would be a cube, and leave it in the bag.
Yeah.
And leave it to fate, and those I can't use. That's all I can do.
All right, I will use Professor X Global to fill the sidekick with my question mark. All right, pass back.
And pass turn to you.
Okay. All right. So draw 4 from my bag. I got my Yuan-Ti there. Do not have her yet, though. Do I go for Mimic this game? Probably would be helpful if I'm playing a little bit of a longer game. Although I think I also need to go for Shriek, because if I can get Shriek and Bishop out and Yuan-Ti out, then I think I've pretty much shut you down.
You have Bishop?
Sorry, I mean Blob. By the way, I've opened like 150-ish packs of X-Men First Class, maybe more, and I still don't have a rare Bishop. I haven't even seen one anywhere around me. Okay, that was a mask. Okay, I'm just going to roll these 2 again. Ugh, of course. Here's where I could parallax.
I didn't think of bloody parallax. Oh, well. That was stupid.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could have. He would have only had like 1. He would have done some damage.
It would have been good to get her in the field, though. That's all I need.
That's true.
Oh, I'm stupid.
That's true. Sorry.
No.
I am going to parallax. Why not? All right. So we're going to field a sidekick, and we're going to field Yuan-Ti at level 2. And I'll go ahead and use Professor X while I can. And we'll just put that sidekick in the field, and then I will pass turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think about parallax for you either. Totally.
Not to
totally
worry.
Yeah, that could have helped.
Still,
it also could have amounted to nothing.
Yeah, I would have paid it and then not rolled it again, probably. I think we can safely assume that. Okay. That's not hugely helpful. What's coming next time? Okay, next time we have a bag full of goodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So we probably, ideally, would want to prep something and resurrect something. Oh, we've got sidekicks though, which are only going to help you in the end. So.
Help keep your bag thin, though.
Yeah, thank you. I might try and re-roll those. I'm going to try and prep a kryptonite, and I can do it with that. And I'd like to resurrect as well, so I can guarantee pulling everything that's in my bag. So I've got 2 shields. So I just hope if I re-roll these, I'd quite like to leave the sidekicks in the field, maybe, because they're good, in reserve. And hope these don't both come up sidekick, basically. All right,
you
that's
got
fine.
one.
Okay, so I'll flip that to a shield.
Okay.
I will prep a kryptonite. I've only got 1 more, which I'll buy with that, and then I'll resurrect.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not quite guaranteeing my bag draw, but there's no better way of doing it as far as I can see. Okay, so I think I'll pass turn to you.
Okay, all right. My bag is empty, so I'm going to draw 4, and I'll have 1 in my bag. That's looking pretty good. So I could prep a Shriek, or I could prep a Foot Ninja. I think I'm still too nervous about Yuan-Ti, so I'm going to prep Shriek.
Gosh.
All right, pass turn.
Control-tastic.
I mean, I've been overwhelmed by that team too many times now. I need to do something different. I haven't even started on my win condition, although I have fielded 3 sidekicks, which is kind of like starting my win condition.
Okay. This needs to roll urgently.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Well, you got most of it.
That's a pretty good start.
Yeah. Glad I have Shriek coming out.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. So if that rolls. Oh, I've got fielding cost though. It's not all that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we want that to roll, wouldn't we? Yes. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
So what? We blank blob.
Yep.
Which means that I can field her for 1.
Yep.
You have a Yuan-Ti in the field or not? You do.
I do have a Yuan-Ti.
Anyway. Have we got any other way of removing her? We don't have magic missile, so I guess not.
No.
No. I'll flip this to a shield, probably. I'll use a cube, and I'll use the damage from that to remove her, Yuan-Ti. Right?
Okay, so yeah, so attune damage to KO Yuan-Ti, which can be characters. People forget that.
That's another cube for 5.
To me.
That will be, well, what's Blob's defense? Now to you, obviously.
8,
to you.
yeah. Alright, you could remove him with 2 cubes.
No, thank you.
Okay, so I'm down to 15.
And...
Hey, check out those scores updated.
Oh, yeah, let me do that. Hang on. Okay, and so now I can buy 2 1-cost actions and get you down to 5, and after that I'm absolutely stuffed.
I mean, with 1 more energy, you would have killed me, even despite my early control attempts.
Oh yeah, if I had 1 more energy changer, you'd be done.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something to think about.
I should have. I thought about it. But I should have bought your improvised weapons last turn.
Yeah.
And if I was playing better, I probably would have.
But
I
would have bought bat signals.
Yeah, it would have been the same damage. Yeah.
You don't have an energy changer, do you, by any chance?
I don't.
Oh God, damn it. All right, well,
I'll be at 5. I'm still pretty low, and cube can still kill me.
That's true. All right, let's do that.
All right.
A cube can't kill you if you blank. What's it? Okay, so
that is true.
I'll buy. Do I buy these? Because these actually could be potentially useful if I ever have a surplus of characters in the field, which is pretty unlikely, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And this does what?
But they definitely. I mean, you can always buy improvised weapon. You can definitely buy bat signal now.
Yeah, I can always buy improvised weapon if you don't buy them all. But yeah.
Buy improvised weapon, yeah. But
yeah,
you're not really preventing. Yeah.
I will. Yeah. I'll buy them, and I'll take you down to 5.
All right. So because she triggers attune every time you buy a die, and Cosmic Cube is giving her ability +2 damage, and then another +2 damage for the second cube. That means every time you buy a die, she's dealing 5 damage. Now, the reason I had my Yuan-Ti out is that Super Rare Yuan-Ti triggers every attune character in the field, and since she has attune, if he didn't kill her first, I would be able to use her attune damage to KO his Yuan-Ti when she bought the first die, and I would save myself 5 damage that way.
Actually, you'd save yourself 2 because I think I'd still do the first 3 to you.
Oh yeah, okay. So it ends up being a few less damage, but anyway, all right. I believe that is the end of your turn.
Yeah, that's about all I've got, I'm afraid.
Okay. All right. So I've got 1 sidekick in the bag. I'm gonna have 3 more, and then 1 going in. So. Wow. That's none of the characters.
I'm pretty sure Shriek wants to do that repeatedly.
I think she would love to be a character. All right, we're going to re-roll all of these. Oh, come on, Shriek. We're going to pay 1 to do the Parallax Global.
Damn you.
On Shriek. I'm going to roll this one as well. Oh, come on,
I
Shriek.
told you, repeatedly.
I have to, though. If you draw... I mean, what are you going to draw next turn? You have a whole bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 1 sidekick in your bag. So you have a. But even if you could draw both cubes, or even just a cube and a kryptonite, or a cube and a bat signal, I would lose the game. So I have to have Shriek out. There's just no way around it. I'm gonna pay that. Come on.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna use the Cyborg Global to turn this to a shield, and then I'm gonna pay it to just parallax again.
Oh, sorry.
But I have to, or I'm gonna lose. I have one more chance because I have to pay to field her on 2 faces. So I'm gonna have to pay one more.
That's you can throw that dice tower away.
That is what. So I rolled her twice, and then 1, 2, 3, so 6 times this turn.
The curse
does
of
not
parallax.
want to come out and play. God, if I had 4 dice for her, I might throw that one away, but I don't. All right, well, field this. So if I don't lose next turn, what do I really want to have? Foot Ninja's not fast enough. I don't think Yuan-Ti really helps me much at this point. I could have re-rolled her because by the time you start buying actions, I'm already dead with only 5 life left. So, oh well, we'll buy our win condition on the off chance that we can actually do something. All right, pass turn.
Right. Sorry.
I thought I got a break when you didn't catch your kryptonite roll, but apparently 6 times isn't enough for Shriek to come out.
If she did come out, though, I realised that I would just need a kryptonite to blank her because I don't know. I know.
I was thinking I needed to like get her out and then buy a couple of improvised weapons so that I could use my attune damage to ping off yours.
Right.
But,
so I wouldn't need to deal with Blob since she's already out unless you.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless you knock her out.
Let's see what you can draw.
Yeah, let's see. If I was locked down with Dwarf Wizard and Shriek, that would be much harder, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
well, all right. Well.
Well.
Probably could have played this a little bit better, but I don't think it's gonna work.
That's probably sufficient, isn't it? Do I need to blank something?
No.
What have you got?
No, you don't. But you only have 3 damage at the moment.
You've got your Yuan-Ti out. So that would be 3. And then I would just buy something for another 3 damage, and that's it. Is that right?
That's true, yeah.
So
yeah, because even if my Yuan-Ti killed your Yuan-Ti. Yeah, you're right.
So that's 3 damage and another 3 from buying whatever. Okay, let's buy something.
Yeah, and then you would also trigger my Yuan-Ti, but by then I'd already be dead, so it doesn't matter.
There you go. It's horrible.
Yeah, apparently Scarlet Witch is really important against that team because not being able to allow you to get your kryptonite out in the first place would have been incredibly helpful.
We can try again with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, we might have to at some point. Well, anyway, that is, I think, the 3rd time we've tried this. So, and this team has not fared that well against it. So,
that's the longest you've delayed death, though.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking that's my best attempt so far. Yeah, Shriek needed to come out, but I also needed to have a way to ping that. So some kind of force block or something would have done it, but just can't with what I currently have. All right, well, maybe we'll retool and we'll attempt this again. Yeah. Thanks for playing, James. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Just to be clear, everyone, this is a horrid team, and don't play this at home. It's...
Oh, God, do not bring this to casual night. Don't bring this to sidekick night.
We're doing these experiments so that you don't have to.
Right. If you get that Super Yuan-Ti, just trade it for something better. Something actually that people would want to play against, and yeah.
You can send it to me. I will use it under safe circumstances.
Yeah, exactly, in a controlled environment. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye. Oh my gosh, I've just.